I'm just sitting here thinking, imagine if you're sitting at home in your living room, your name's Blanchflower, and you hear yourself being described on national television by David Starkey as being wildly eccentric. I don't think you'd sleep at night, actually, after an experience like that. You mentioned Wythenshawe, unemployment up. Scotland today, unemployment up. Over the course of the last year, 70,000 up. Now, if you take the 1 to 10 comparison between Scotland and England, in terms of expenditure, in terms of economic indicators generally, if that was replicated in England today, we'd be looking at unemployment 700,000 more than today's figures. Now, that puts it in some context. And I think the problem is this. There are regional variations, and I think the further you get away from the south-east, the more those variations become pronounced, whether it's the northwest of England, for example, or whether it's over the border into my own country. And I think that what's going to happen, I fear, particularly in the public sector, beyond this general election, whoever's in power, whatever the composition of the next House of Commons, yes, the deficit is going to have to be addressed. But if we address it in the way that I think, because they've shifted around so much in the last 6 months since September, it's hard to know exactly what David Cameron and George Osborne are proposing to do, but they've suggested they want to be more draconian sooner rather than later. I think that that will choke off the prospects that we've got of coming out of this with less social disorder and disadvantage than might otherwise prove to be the case.
You want to answer this, Andrew Ramsey?
Well, yeah, because sooner rather than later is exactly what the business community is telling us is absolutely required to stimulate the recovery. And let me just make one point. Let me just make one... Well, the CBI and the IOD and so on.
No,
let me make one point. If it is about jobs, why a fortnight from now is a Labour government proposing to put a substantial increase through national insurance on the employment of people? It is a tax on jobs. It's a disgrace. And our priority in the tax system will be to remove that tax on jobs and help to get people back working.
And a point from you, sir?
A number of those people in the, I think it's 35,000, have given up, and I'm one of them. What words of consolation can you offer me, Mrs. Beckett?
Are you one of the no longer economically active?
Well, I'm still going to sign on, but in my head, I'm thinking, you know, I've given up because I really have lost faith now, really.
Margaret Beckett, a brief answer, if you would.
Well, it's always particularly hard. I don't know anything about your circumstances, but the most important thing is that you should not give up. I mean, there are a range of options available. There are programmes, depends on how long you've been out of work, what programmes are available to you. But I mean, I have had constituents who I have seen come to my advice bureau year in, year out for a very long time, who then get work and whose lives are transformed as a result. And that is what I would say to you, is, you know, don't give up. Don't give up hope. Do go on trying, because it's worth it. And I could just make one final point. Andrew gave the impression that elsewhere in Europe, unemployment is lower. That, as I understand it, is not at all the case. And a lot of this talk about the economy is in a completely isolated... Yes, so you're admitting that that's not the case. It's as if this country is in an isolation. We're having a recession and nobody else is. This is a global recession, the worst there's been in our lifetime. All
right, and take a last question. We have 60 seconds left from Sher Raxel, please. Sher Raxel.
What is the panel's view on a female porn film director being selected as a Liberal Democrat candidate?
Yes.